Have you ever felt emotionally stuck? Like you're chained to a person, a situation, or a version of the past that keeps dragging you down? We've all been there. That weight in your chest, that loop of thought you can't turn off. It's attachment, and it's exhausting. But here's the good news. You're not stuck, not forever. Because detachment isn't about giving up, it's about reclaiming your peace. This video isn't just for those interested in ancient wisdom, it's for anyone who's tired of being controlled by emotions, expectations, and outcomes. We're going to explore the Stoic philosophy of detachment using insights from Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. You'll discover how to detach, not to feel less, but to feel freely without losing yourself. If you're ready to stop suffering over what you cannot control and finally break free, then this is your invitation. Let's begin. Rule 1. The power of detachment. Why is detachment so powerful? Because when we cling too tightly to people or outcomes, we hand them our peace. It's like giving someone else the remote control to your emotions. You're no longer living, you're reacting. Imagine your emotions as a kite. Every attachment is a string. If you hold on too tight or try to manage every gust of wind, you'll lose your balance. But if you learn which strings to keep and which to release, you find stability. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Begin each day by telling yourself, 'Today I shall meet with interference, ingratitude, insolence, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness, all of them due to the offender's ignorance of what is good or evil.'" He prepared himself for adversity, not by resisting it, but by detaching from the illusion that it could hurt what matters most: his mind, his values, his character. So here's your first exercise. Identify what or who you're clinging to. Is it a relationship, a status, a fear of being alone? Ask yourself, what do I believe this attachment is giving me? Then ask, is that belief actually true, or is it fear talking? Detachment is the process of gently releasing these illusions. Rule 2. Understanding the ego's grip. When you find yourself emotionally entangled, unable to move on, obsessing over outcomes or others, it's not always love or loyalty that's holding on. It's your ego. The ego craves certainty. It demands approval. It feeds on validation, recognition, and control. It whispers stories of scarcity, telling you that without this person, without this praise, without this outcome, you are somehow incomplete. It convinces you that your value is conditional, that your worth is negotiable. But as the Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." Freedom doesn't come from getting everything we want. It comes from seeing through the illusions the ego sells us and choosing to let go anyway. When we are young, we don't need anything to feel joyful. A child plays with presence, connects without condition, and expresses without fear. But as we age, our ego begins to shape our experiences. Love becomes fear of loss. Relationships become tools for self-worth. Our presence is replaced by performance, and our joy is filtered through the gaze of others. To detach, we must recognize the ego's voice and gently refuse to believe it. Practice this. First, name it. I'm afraid to let go because I fear being forgotten, alone, unimportant. Then, reframe it. I am not what I lose. I am what I choose to become. Detachment is not indifference. It is wisdom. Letting go doesn't mean you stop loving. It means you stop needing love to feel worthy. It's not about becoming cold, but clear. Embrace abundance. Trust that what is truly meant for you will never require force, fear, or desperation. Let go of the need to grip so tightly. What is aligned will stay. What isn't was never yours to begin with. And in that quiet, courageous surrender, you will find peace. Rule 3. Breaking free from the illusion of validation. Have you ever caught yourself altering your behavior, your words, or even your goals just to gain someone's approval? Have you ever felt like someone's opinion could either elevate or destroy your sense of worth? This is one of the most subtle yet painful forms of emotional attachment, the craving for validation. When we live for approval, we live in fear. Fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. Epictetus offers a liberating perspective. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Why is this so powerful? Because the moment you stop needing to be understood or admired is the moment you reclaim your freedom. We often idolize others. We imagine they hold some magical quality we lack: more confidence, more beauty, more success. We put them on pedestals, believing that if they approve of us, we must be valuable. But eventually, the illusion fades, and we realize that no one, not even those we admire most, can give us the validation we deny ourselves. Detachment from approval doesn't mean you stop caring about people. It means you stop outsourcing your identity to them. It means recognizing that worth isn't something to be granted. It's something you already possess. Here's your next practice. Begin with non-reaction. When someone criticizes or dismisses you, pause. Don't respond from habit. Respond from awareness. Ask yourself, why does this sting? Is this touching an old wound? Choose a response rooted in your principles, not your pain. The more you practice this, the more your mind becomes your servant, not your master. You stop living to impress and start living with intention. True detachment is clarity, and in clarity you find strength, not because you've become hardened, but because you've finally become whole. Rule 4. The practice of letting go. Letting go is hard because it feels like losing control, but often we're clinging to something that's already gone. Think about the rope metaphor. You're holding on so tightly, your hands are bleeding. But the rope is connected to something drifting away. Letting go doesn't mean you fall. Sometimes it means you can finally heal. Seneca said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Fear of discomfort creates emotional paralysis. We stay in toxic situations because they're familiar. We scroll social media, comparing our lives to curated illusions. Here's your challenge. Stop chasing ghosts. Mute or unfollow people who trigger attachment. Journal every time you feel FOMO. What are you really missing? Or are you just avoiding yourself? Detachment is not about giving up on happiness. It's about defining happiness on your own terms. Rule 5. Focusing on the present moment. Attachment is a master of illusions. It doesn't dwell in the now. It lives in two places, the past and the future. It plays a cruel game, whispering in your mind, you had something good and lost it, or you might never have something that good again. It latches onto memories of what once was or dreams of what could be, pulling your focus away from the only thing that ever truly exists, this moment. The Stoics saw this trap clearly and warned us not to fall into it. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." These 5 words are deceptively simple, but in them lies the key to serenity, freedom, and strength. Because the present, this moment right here, is the only space in which you can actually act. It is the only place where love is real, where progress happens, where breath is taken. Everything else is illusion. The past is a memory, the future a projection, But the present is power. So ask yourself regularly, what does my mind keep revisiting? Is this thought serving me in this moment? Can I do anything about this right now? If the answer is no, let it go. Set it down like a stone that's been weighing on your back. You do not need to carry everything with you. Practice presence in small ways. When you eat, just eat, without screens, without rushing. When you walk, just walk. Feel your feet on the ground, the air in your lungs. When you speak, truly listen. Don't just wait for your turn to talk. The more we root ourselves in the now, the more we loosen the grip of regret and anxiety. The tighter we hold on to the past or obsess over the future, the more we suffer. Detachment flourishes when your attention stops wandering into what-ifs, what once was, and what might be. Peace begins when you choose to live, not in your thoughts, but in the truth of the moment. The present moment is not just where life happens, it's where you happen, and the more you return to it, the freer you become. Rule 6. Detachment in relationships. Let's not sugarcoat it. Detachment in relationships is where this entire philosophy is tested the most. Why? Because our deepest bonds come with the deepest fears. Fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of being forgotten. We often confuse love with possession, presence with permanence, and connection with control. Stoic detachment asks us to look differently, to love fully without owning, to give generously without demanding, to stay grounded even when others walk away. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "To love only what happens, what was destined, no greater harmony." When it comes to people, we must remember nothing is truly ours. People are with us for seasons, for chapters, not for guarantees. And yet, the beauty of a relationship is not in clinging, it's in choosing. Every day, freely, consciously. The moment you say, "I cannot live without them," you surrender your emotional freedom. It's a red flag, not of love, but of attachment. Here's a question to reflect on. Am I loving them, or am I needing them to fill a void? That difference is crucial. Love enriches, attachment enslaves. If they leave, will you break, or will you bend and continue your path? Because detachment in relationships is not about shutting your heart. It's about keeping your heart open while keeping your center intact. It's about seeing people as fellow travelers, not destinations. It's about being whole first, so you meet others as complements, not crutches. Try this practice. Write a letter to someone you're attached to, but don't send it. Express gratitude, love, appreciation. And then write the following: "I release you. I honor you, but I will no longer cling to what I cannot keep." This is not weakness. This is maturity. This is self-respect. Seneca reminds us, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. That includes depending on others to complete us. You are not a half waiting to be made whole. You are a complete being capable of connection, but not reliant on it. You can love without losing yourself. You can support without self-sacrifice. You can say goodbye and still be grateful. That is Stoic detachment in relationships. Loving without clinging, giving without expecting, and continuing without resentment. Because at the core of Stoic love is freedom, yours and theirs. Rule 7. Redefining self-worth. What if you believed, truly and deeply, that you are already enough, that nothing you gain or lose can add to or subtract from your worth? Most emotional attachment doesn't arise from love or loyalty. It stems from a deeper illusion, the belief that we are somehow incomplete. And so we seek completion in others, in attention, in validation, in being chosen. We tell ourselves, if they stay, I must be worth loving. If they admire me, I must be valuable. If they walk away, maybe I was never enough. And in doing so, we place our self-worth on a shaky pedestal built from someone else's approval. But Seneca, with clarity and wisdom, offers a vital reminder. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Your worth is not fragile. It is revealed through adversity. It is sharpened by solitude. It is not something you must earn from others. It is something you uncover within yourself. You are not less because you're alone. You are not more because someone chooses to stay. You are not defined by who applauds you, who leaves you, or who fails to see you. You are whole simply because you exist. Here's an affirmation worth repeating, every day if needed. I am not waiting to be chosen. I have already chosen myself. Let that land not just in your mind, but in your nervous system, in your posture, in your decisions. Let it guide how you speak to yourself when you're alone. Let it shape the standards you set for how others treat you. Your value is not a negotiation. It is not up for debate. It is not tied to presence or absence, attention or silence. It is yours, unchanging, unshakable. Detaching from the illusion of needing to be picked is not arrogance, it's liberation. Because the moment you stop waiting to be validated by the world, you begin to live from a place of power. And from that place, your relationships improve, your decisions gain clarity, and your life aligns with your truth. You are enough, always have been, always will be, and no one, not even your doubts, can take that away. Rule 8. Emotional discipline is power. Let's be clear from the outset. Detachment is not an emotion, it's a discipline. It's not something that magically appears when you meditate once or read a quote that resonates. Detachment is a skill, a practice, a choice you recommit to daily. You don't master it by avoiding pain. You master it by stepping into discomfort, feeling it fully, and then choosing not to stay there. Think of it like building physical strength. You don't grow muscle by thinking about it. You go to the gym, you lift, you strain, you rest, you repeat. Some days you're strong, other days you fall short, but through the process, your capacity expands. Emotional detachment works the same way. You train it like a muscle. You will fail sometimes. You'll get caught in your feelings. You'll overthink, overreact, get pulled back into the gravity of things you thought you'd outgrown. That's okay. The key is not to live without emotion. It's to learn how to navigate it without being ruled by it. You don't learn to detach by never being hurt. You learn by being hurt and refusing to let the pain harden you or define you. This is the Stoic path. To feel pain, but not become the pain. To experience loss and still continue moving forward. To love and care deeply without crumbling when things don't go your way. Each time you practice letting go of a grudge, a toxic thought, a false expectation, you become lighter. You shed emotional weight that was never yours to carry. Every time you return to your inner center after being thrown off course, you grow stronger, more grounded, more capable of handling what life throws at you. And every single time you resist the urge to control what is beyond your reach, and instead focus on what you can shape, you reclaim your power. Because that, right there, is the essence of true freedom. Not the absence of emotion, but the mastery of response. Detachment doesn't make you cold, it makes you clear. And from that clarity, you can lead your life. Not as a puppet of your emotions, but as a calm, focused, unwavering force. Conclusion: the journey toward freedom. This journey is not about becoming indifferent. It's about becoming invincible within. You will still feel, you will still care, but you won't cling, because you've realized that your peace is too precious to give away, that your time is too short to waste in emotional bondage, and that your strength is not measured by what you hold, but by what you've learned to release. So here's your final exercise. Write down the one thing you know you need to let go of. Then write a letter to it, grateful for the lesson, but ready to move on. Burn it, bury it, delete it, but don't carry it. Say it out loud and mean it. I let go, not because I don't care, but because I finally do. About myself. If this message resonated with you, type it in the comments. I release what I cannot control. Like this video, subscribe, share it with someone who's struggling, and most importantly, keep walking. Not toward control, not toward perfection, but toward peace. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay grounded, stay present, and let go.